Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica. Welcome to the channel. This is a secondary portion of your July forecast where I'm going to be pulling some tarot cards and oracle cards for you. I intend on pulling 4 cards total from my tarot deck and 1 card from the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Jane Marin. Sagittarius, you've got a full moon in your sign. It will be on the 8th or 9th of the month, so you will be feeling emotional. Maybe even a little irritated. I am shuffling my deck for you, and I also want to remind you that your astrology, your tarot video, and your full moon oracle videos will all be listed in the information bubble above in the right hand portion of your screen. And I will have May's full playlist of the astrology, tarot, and full moon oracle card readings listed at the very end of this video. So, Sagittarius. One more shuffle and then I shall cut for you. I'm cutting the deck for you now, Sag. Alright. The bottom card will always represent the underlying theme or overarching energy of my spreads, and the top 3 are for clarity. If you need a time reference, then we can go past, present, future. And now I'm going to shuffle the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck for you. Like I said, this is from Elena Fairchild, and the artwork is by Jane Marin. There's going to be a couple of things going on in the month of June that I'm going to talk about a little bit more if the cards so indicate. The first is a difficult aspect between Jupiter and Neptune. This is occurring between your 11th and 4th houses. And the second is dealing with the Cardinal Cross activation that will be occurring because of the planetary party in Cancer. And this will be a cross or tension felt between the areas of life in your 5th house, 8th house, 11th house, and 2nd house. All of those placements are based on Sagittarius rising charts. Let me cut this deck for you now, Sag. Okay. And here's your oracle card. What I'm going to do now is pause, flip these cards over, do the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story. Sagittarius, hang tight, y'all. I'll be right back. Hey Sagittarius, I'm back with your cards, so let's go ahead and get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy of this spread is the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So, the 5 speaks to the 5th house on the astrological wheel. That house is ruled by Leo, and it is the house of sparks. I think of that as the spark of life, the spark of love, the spark of creation. It is the house of your social life, your social circle, your pleasure seeking. It deals with your romance, falling in love. It is where you create and make your babies. It is the house of the artist and artistic expression as well. The pentacles represent earth sign energy. The earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. You are having Venus transit through that 5th house at the very beginning of the month. Venus deals with money and resources. The pentacles also deal with your money and resources, the things that you would expend on another living person or thing, something that you care about deeply and that you are invested in. The fact that it's in reverse could be reflective of you dealing with adversity in one way or another, possibly feeling like the rug has been pulled from underneath your feet. We are dealing with the after effects, the impacts of what happened during the Venus retrograde, which for you was in between your 4th and 5th houses. So that's home and family, and this 5th house that I'm talking about now, your social life and children and creations and that sort of thing. This card in itself deals with insecurity, debt, overspending, and poverty. Another thing that I think of when I see this card is Dark Night of the Soul. The majority color in the background is black, which makes me remind you, or makes me want to remind you that it is always darkest before dawn. I also see this card as a card of inequality, and what I mean by that is if we flip this over, these individuals are going through the same thing. However, this person's perspective of it and this person's perspective of the same situation are going to be different. This person is injured, struggling to keep up, and looking up, hopeful. This individual is covered up, cold, but, barely covered up and cold, trudging through the snow, looking down. Perspectives are important in this life. The fact that these characters, with the card in the way that it fell in the reverse, these characters are reflecting on the past. So you may be reflecting on stuff that has gone on in that fifth house, looking back towards the past, looking back at adversity you had in the fifth house, dealing with anything with your social life, pleasures. This could also be where you might have struggled with an addiction or something to that effect. Possibly spending on your children, or spending on seeking pleasure and money to devote to your social life is what I'm really seeing this as. The first card in the top three for clarity is the Six of Cups. I mentioned the Venus retrograde. It's important because it's something that only happens about every 2.5 years. And, it's about every 2.5 years. The Venus retrograde that we experienced this spring was in the exact place that it was 9 years ago. So whatever happened 9 years ago, there were themes tied to what we experienced just during the summer or this spring. Whenever I see a character with a red hat on, I instantly think of Aries because red symbolizes fire to me, fire signs, and Aries rules the head. So whenever I see a character with a prominent red hat, red hair, red cloak, something on the head that is red, I think of Aries. And we had Aries host this Venus retrograde, but we also had Mercury tiptoe back into Aries as well during the Mercury retrograde. The 6 speaks to that 6th house for me, and that is the house of Virgo. That is the house of your work and health, the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It's also your daily agenda and the daily to-do list that you have. The 6 also speaks to growth. The cups are indicative of water sign energy. The water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. There is going to be a lot of Cancerian focus this month because of a Cardinal Cross that will be playing out in throughout June because of all the planets that are going to be playing in Cancer. And you're going to be experiencing, once again, that Cardinal Cross in between your 5th house, your 11th house, your 8th house, and your 2nd house. So kids, friends, life, death, and rebirth, other people's money, and your own money are the big themes that are going to be addressed. This card is indicative of innocence, nostalgia, the past. It could be karmic. I also see this as benevolent giving and sharing, not being concerned about your own welfare because you have enough for yourself. This is charitable giving without the concern for repayment. And the fact that it's the cups, it could be that it's just like an emotional sort of debt, an emotional sort of thing where you're either looking back at the past, because this is in the past position, and it's also a card of nostalgia and the past. So it could be that you're looking back on the past with nostalgia and the fact that though it was hard, you made it, and it may have been through karmic connections, it may have been through people giving benevolently and not concerned about themselves, charitable giving, if you will. Really just depends. The second card that I pulled in the top 3 for clarity, this card represents the present energy at play. This is the 11th card, the 11th card of the Major Arcana. We've got Jupiter transiting through Libra right now, and this Justice card is representative of Libra. So, You've got Jupiter transiting through your 11th house right now. This is the 11th card. How synchronistic is that, y'all? The 11th house deals with your friends, groups, memberships, teams, and associations that you may belong to. It also deals with the internet. It deals with your future wishes, goals, and dreams as well. This 11th house issue requires balance. And the Justice card could be the fact that you are receiving a reward or acknowledgement for your efforts. Or it could be that you are facing or dealing with legal issues. Your friends could be dealing with it as well. It may not be you. It may be someone around you or close to you. But it's the focus right here. Whenever I see the scales, I think of Libra. Libra is an air sign. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It may be involving people in that area as well. Something else that's interesting is that, of note, right now, we've got the 5 card. We've got the 11 card. There's an 8 card right there. 3 of those numbers are the houses that you will be dealing with this Cardinal Cross energy playing out, where there will be action and initiation needed. I do feel like you probably need to watch your astrology video and read the description down below in those astrology notes, because it's going to be important for you in some way or another. I don't know why I'm seeing this as well, but these 2 pillars look like an 11. And I don't normally notice that. So maybe the 11th of the month is going to be important for you as well. It could be that there are some major things that are occurring on the 11th. But 11 is very strong, not only in this reading, but in the resonance as well. With that Jupiter in Libra, this being the 11th card, you having Jupiter in the 11th house. That 11th house is going to be dealing with some interesting things. You've got Jupiter going direct in that 11th house. On the 8th or 9th of the month, the same time that you've got that full moon in your sign. It could be that you're dealing with some legal issues or some justice issues or some recognition or some acknowledgement of your hard work, and it could be done through the internet possibly, or your friends are giving you kudos for being the wonderful friend that you are online. Who knows? Could be any of that stuff. Finally, the 3rd card that I pulled for you in the top 3 for clarity is the Strength card. Another Major Arcana card. This is the 8th card of the Major Arcana. And this is speaking to that house of Cancer for you that is a part of that Cardinal Cross, indicating that you are going to need strength when it comes to the time for action or initiation. The Strength card is representative of the zodiac sign of Leo. So you may be dealing with a Leo. I also see Scorpio in this, because whenever I see the infinity sign, I see Scorpio. The 8th house is the house of Scorpio traditionally, and it deals with the themes of life, death, and rebirth, other people's money, instincts. This can be primal, basic, or human instincts. It deals with sexuality. It is a very intimate house. It is transformation, regeneration, and metamorphosis. And sometimes it takes strength to do all of those things, to deal with those themes of the 8th house. This card is reflective of the energy of self-confidence or being confident. It also reflects the theme of exercising your abilities or your talents. But whenever I see this card in a personal reading, I always see this as having the strength to keep my damn mouth shut. Because this character is doing everything she can to help keep this lion's mouth shut. And it may be that you need to tame the beast or hold a Leo back in one way or another. And if it's not a Leo, it could be somebody, a Scorpio as well. Or just somebody in that 8th house, where I could see where you would need to have the strength to keep your mouth shut if you were having a situation where somebody was ill and passing or something like that, and there was family drama, and having the strength to keep your mouth shut, that sort of thing. You've got a lot of 8th house energy playing out for you throughout the month of June, Sagittarius, and those are big themes. Probably dealing with life, death, and rebirth, sexuality, regeneration, transformation, metamorphosis, dealing with primal, basic, or human instincts, dealing with other people's money. All very big themes for this month for you. Now, I did the tarot math on this spread, and it ended up being 30. 3 plus 0 is 3, and that number is associated with communication. The 3 speaks to the 3rd house on the astrological wheel, which happens to be ruled by Gemini, And it deals with your siblings, your cousins, your neighbors, people in your neighborhood. It's about communication, thinking, and movement. It's about your commute and your communication devices. So, lots going on. Let's transition over to your oracle card now. I pulled for you from the Crystal Mandala Oracle card by Elena Fairchild. The artwork is by Jane Marin. This is the 46th card of that deck. Goddess Kali in Black Obsidian, the Sacred Revolution card. It comes with a Crystal Goddess 888 vibratory message as well, so let's start there. The Crystal message 888 vibratory theme is that of power, authority, leadership, mastery, and strength. All very masculine principles, if you will. It also reminds you that you need to trust in your power, authority, or leadership. And if it's not that, then it's that you need to see the divine as a reality in your daily life. 4 plus 6 is 10, and that speaks to that 10th house on the astrological wheel. That house deals with your career, your status, and your reputation, dealing with authority figures in your world, in your life, people that you have to answer to, but also experts in their field. And it's also a destined house. It may be that you need to have a sacred revolution in this area of your 10th house. And I think of the 10th house as the stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you. You may need to have, like I said, a sacred revolution in this area of life. Now, according to my notes, you aren't having anything play out for you astrologically there, but that doesn't mean that in your own personal chart that isn't happening for you, because this is a general reading. The Sacred Revolution card is reminding you that revolution comes when a cycle of authority or power is coming to an end. It's asking that you give radical attention to the areas in your life that need or require a sacred revolution, and only you know who that is. Only you know what that is. Only you know who it is that can help you. The goddess Kali isn't a goddess of subtlety or subservience. She is the goddess of war and death and destruction. She's called upon in times of war when demons seem to be gaining the upper hand. This card reminds you that change requires courage. And it indicates that you and your life are going to change by choice or force of will. The best thing you can do is to let go of your need for perfection and control over the solution and allow Kali, the goddess Kali, to guide you to your sacred revolution. Sagittarius, I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I've got 11 more of these videos to do, so you'll be seeing me again, but not so soon, and it'll be for the full moon oracle. I hope to have this video uploaded for you today, which is Tuesday, May 16th. I had to check my calendar because I'm out of school now, so the days are running together. But, yeah, I hope to have this up for you by the end of the day. So, I'm sending you a lot of love. Please take care of yourself, and please be kind to yourself, Sagittarius. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I'm sending you lots of love, y'all. Take care. Namaste, and I'll see you soon. But until then, I love you, Sagittarius. Bye, y'all.